Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Chadoodling, glad you could join us for this Footwear Sketch to Vector series. So welcome to part 1. Here's a short intro of why the series exists. So this tutorial is for the designers who don't have pen tablets or aren't confident with their digital sketch rendering skills, but want to present their footwear design in a professional level. So for this tutorial, I'll only be using Adobe Illustrator, so it's vector based. And I'll be using an older version, CS6. So even if you don't have the most updated software, you can still follow. I'm sure everything I prepared you can do. Everything in part 1, so that's for this episode, is just for the preparation. We need to have a good workflow once we get to start vectoring. That's for part 2 and 3. Okay, so let's get started. First thing we want to do is open a new file. Actually, make a new file. I'll name this one as ignew4. Yeah, that should do. And then, okay. Since we're posting this on Instagram, the max size for Instagram is 1080 by 1080. But I found that, I don't know the reason behind this, but for my experience, that 1000 by 1000 yields the best results when I post it. When it seems like um, ins- Instagram scales it down when I put it at 1080. I don't know why, it just feels that way, and I feel like I get the best results when I do it by 1000 by 1000. And the next one is color mode. You have to keep it at RGB. That's very important. So yeah, because it's web based, so it's not print based. Okay, so raster effect, not really that important now. I'll just put it at 72 since it's for screen. Okay, and that's a new file. Okay, so next thing we have to do is you have to go to edit, preferences. So this is important. So for a lot of you, these two, transform pattern tile and scale strokes and effect, might not be checked. Make sure to check that. That's important for this tutorial. And then just select OK. Okay, so the next thing we do is I want to introduce you to 3 functions that will be used a lot for this tutorial. So we go to Object. First is Object Expand. So as you can see, I put a keyboard shortcut for expand. Usually there isn't an automatic keyboard shortcut for that. Since I use it a lot, I decided to make one. And then the other one is here, Object Path, and then Offset Path. Also, usually no keyboard shortcut. So I'll show you in a while after I explain the 3 main functions that we need. So offset path is the other one. So make sure to add a keyboard shortcut for that. It helps with the workflow. Now, if you really don't want to, I don't mind. You can just keep going here, object path. But I feel like it takes a long time, so I make a keyboard shortcut. So the last one is export. This one's a bit weird. So normally, Control Alt S is actually save a copy. But I've never heard anyone use save a copy at all. So I just removed the shortcut for here and made it export. Since I use export a whole lot more. Since in Illustrator, when you want to save a JPEG, you don't use save as. It's not like Photoshop. You use export. So I use this a lot more. Okay, so those are the basic functions that you will be using a lot for this tutorial. So, okay, this is where you go when you want to change it. So you just go to edit, keyboard shortcuts, and then, so menu commands, you type what you want. So for example, offset path. Okay, so you just select here and then type the controls you want. Same for the others. You just look for expand. There we go. And then the last one, export. And then you just do the same thing. And then just select OK. Make sure to select OK. That's important. Okay, so the next one we're gonna do is we're going to open our file. So we're gonna look for the sketch. Okay, so let me just open the sketch. So this is the sketch I have prepared for today. So let's move it to the file. Okay, so now since obviously we have to resize it, make sure it fits the 1000 by 1000 canvas. This feels a little too small. Let's make it a wee bit bigger. Alright, that should be roughly about right. Now the next thing you're gonna do is you're going to make a box, just a normal rectangle. So the purpose of this is you want to align it. Sometimes when you take pictures or you scan your photo, your sketch, it's not always aligned correctly, right? So this is for that. So you want to make it just keep rotating it. So we're just using the normal move tool actually. We're not using the rotate. Once the borders come out, you can rotate it from the side. So just rotate until you get, there we go. I think this is pretty much what I'm looking for. Okay, maybe too much. A bit less maybe. Yeah, there we go. Then you can delete this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make additional layers. Now, if you've ever been taught professionally, people will always tell you, name your layers, and I promise you, it really does help. Okay, so I'm naming these differently. Okay, so the reason why we're naming them differently is because the different parts of the footwear and the artwork, when they're separated, it really does help. Sometimes when all the paths are on top of each other, it becomes really hard. So it's very important. That thing we're gonna do is make a zigzag stitch. So it's not in the sketch, but I plan to add a zigzag stitch here with an edging also, or maybe here. So just to add some detailing to the sketch. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do it. You need to open the polygon tool, which is here. It's usually the rectangle. So just click, drag to polygon. Okay. Now it's usually, when it comes out, it's usually a hexagon, so it has 6 sides. So if you want to lessen the sides, you just press the down arrow key, and if you want to add sides, use the up arrow key. It's that simple. Okay, now we want a triangle. Select shift, by the way, if you want it to be straight, like so it's not in an angle. It's harder to edit. Okay, so it's exactly as we want. Oops, sorry, accidentally pressed F. Okay, now we want to select V, and then we squeeze it because zigzag stitches are usually very narrow. And then let's add a thickness to the strokes. I think three would be fine. And then I want you to change the cap and the corners to rounded. Okay, and then delete the bottom. Okay, and then you have to go to brushes. Now this is quite simple. You just click and you just drag. And then make sure it's pattern brush. These ones don't work as well, so you have to use pattern brush. And nothing to edit here, just select OK. And then we have a zigzag stroke. Now if you want to see how it looks like, quite simple, just select after you make a stroke, just select and you'll see it's a zigzag stroke. Now usually I edit this and cut the edges so it's fully continuous, but since I won't be using a big zigzag stroke, it won't be seen anyway, so I'll just let it be. And then just to show you, we can like change the stroke thickness to 0.25. So once it's that small, you don't really notice it anymore, and highly likely it'll be smaller. Like if I change 0.2, see, can barely notice it. So that should be good. Okay, and just for just to finish it, I'll also make a black version and copy to the brush, pattern brush, and okay. So now we have 2 options. You can do this in any color, by the way, so if ever you're rendering something a bit more colorful, you can just do the same, no problems. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the introduction. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part. So in the next part, I'll show you how to do the line work. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you like what you saw, a thumbs up would be really nice. And if you want more, a subscribe would really help. If there's anything you want to know, or something that I didn't cover, leave a comment down below. And I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!